You are locked into the Dream Chasers podcast right now.
Let's go. Make room.
Welcome to the Dream Chasers podcast, where ambition meets action. Strap in as your host guides you on a journey filled with stories of tenacity, hustle, and the triumphs of those who dare to chase their dreams. Whether you're guiding towards your first milestone or looking for that next big leap, this is the place for inspiration, insights, and unstoppable motivation. Let's get into today's episode and turn dreams into reality. This is the Dream Chasers podcast.
Welcome to the Dream Chasers podcast. I'm getting a little echo, y'all. I don't know why I'm getting this echo. Okay. Like I said, y'all, if I don't say that too much, and Tyra doing the talking, it's gonna be okay. My echo, I can get the echo on my end. So, Tyra, I know a lot of people want to know. We can't give y'all all the information, but we can give y'all some bits and pieces of information about Himbola.
So, first things first, something that's very important that's coming up for Himbola. This coming Tuesday on July 30th, Lafayette Consolidated Government is going out to start doing their inspections. I need for y'all to tag and share residents that are currently living in Himbola. Lafayette Consolidated Government is only there to inspect the construction of your dwelling. They're not there to see what you got inside your house, what you got going on personally. They are simply there to look at the conditions that these residents are living in and looking for violations. That way they could let Foresight Management Company or Foresight Asset Management let them know what they have to fix and what the time limit is that they have to fix before they go further with having to take them to court. It's a process. So I need y'all to understand that there'll be 3 or 4 inspectors with Lafayette Consolidated Government coming out to do the inspection Tuesday, the 30th. I need y'all to let them in y'all house. Don't be scared. They can't write you up personally for any violation like Ms. Green is doing. That's not what they're here for, or that's not what they're going to be there for. I need y'all to let them in. Now, you do have the right to not let them in your house. But for everybody's safety, for your neighbors' safety, their children's health, I need you to let Lafayette Consolidated go into your apartment and do the inspection. You might not even think you have issues. You might not think that whatever is at the top of your ceiling and your wall where it meets is an issue. It's probably mold. And it's making a bunch of people back there sick. And it's making people who have even moved out of Himbola, they're still sick. Let them in your house Tuesday, please.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Tyra.
I do have a law firm we've been posting that is wanting to help. They deal with personal injury. They also deal with injury due to landlord and property management neglect. They have asked me to get a list of past and present residents who have lived there, who've dealt with the water, the flooding in the walls coming downstairs to your hallway, ceilings collapsing, mold, all of that. Because we quite honestly don't know what the long-term effects of constant mold inhalation can do to our body, can do to your children. You can inbox me or Chris. Give us your name, your number, the apartment number that you stayed in. Um, I pray that you have pictures of the living conditions. Also, a lot of people say, well, Miss Tyra, I don't have the same phone. Yeah, but pictures, if you're in the same Google account, they're saved automatically into your Google Drive, into your cloud. So you probably can still find those pictures, even though they might be a couple of years old. So you can contact me. I'll just get my phone number out. It's 337-414-9355. So I can write your name down, the apartment, your information, and daily I submit my list of past and present residents to this law firm.
And y'all, we do have lawyers that echo. We do have lawyers that is on it.
I spoke to them today. One of the lead attorneys. I actually sent him the video I posted earlier of the different flashes of housing apartments that I put together. He was very disturbed. Um, he's going to be bringing in a couple of more of his assistant attorneys at the law firm to be able to help, to be able to organize all of this, start reaching out to the residents, basically the residents that are living there now. Um, that's priority. And then as it goes on, reaching out to the people that I have listed who've already moved out. So they're on it. We have a physician who contacted Terrence St. Julian, who actually works for a number of personal injury attorneys, and he's willing to step in to be able to see residents who are sick or their children are sick, to determine if it's, toxic mold that they're breathing in. So we're getting there.
How you
Well,
doing?
hello.
Hi, y'all.
Okay, I have a bad echo on my part, so I might not be able to talk too much, but I'm gonna let y'all have it, and whatever y'all say, go ahead on and y'all. I just want to let y'all know I support these ladies 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Not a million. So go ahead on. Y'all have the floor.
Okay, so next issue for current Himbola residents. Foresight Asset Management Company is out there yesterday and again today. One of the issues that I see happening, for instance, I just got a call. There's a young lady who had some water damage, molds leaking a hole in her son's closet. She has a 4-month-old baby right now, plus 2 other children. They have maggots coming out of that hole. The management company saw this, and their response was that they'll be there tomorrow to fix it. Somebody else had some water damage, and basically they fixed it. I need y'all to understand this, and I learned this when, 6-7 years ago, Chris, we had that huge flood, and we
Yes.
opened up the distribution centers. We learned the process of how to get rid of mold after water damage. You have to get the moisture out of that house. And you use a machine called a dehumidifier. That thing has to run a number of hours, maybe even 24 hours, to be able to get all the moisture out of the air. And then you don't spray the mold with Clorox. You need to be able, there's a certain chemical that needs to be sprayed on mold. And that's how you clean it to stop it. After they do that process, then they can begin removing the old wood that's full of mold or changing the sheetrock and then painting. Patching up your ceiling that has all this water damage or the floors and the flooding, the baseboards in your bathroom, all of that just cannot be, you can't just put more wood or sheetrock and paint and say that it's good. That's why there are many apartments on my list of past and present residents that are the same apartments with the same issues. It's because they're doing patchwork. I want y'all, when these people try to go into your apartment to so say fix things, I want y'all to take pictures of the job that they're doing little bit by little bit. Turn your shutter sound off when you take pictures so you could sneak it. And I also want you to do some video of them actually doing the repair. Send it to me, because if they're not using that machine, knowing that you've had nothing but water all through your walls and your ceiling and it's collapsed, that means that you still are susceptible to breathing in those mold spores, and that it's going to slowly kill your children. We don't know what the long-term effects are. So record the job that the management company is doing, and then I want you to turn around and I want you to show that to your inspector with Lafayette Consolidated Government Tuesday. And when I am going to be petty real quick, since whoever follows me tells that to Miss Green all the time. If you're listening, Miss Green, or whoever runs tell that, I'm letting your residents know to video everything, because they have the right to video anything and everything in their apartment. And they have the right to voice their concerns. And they have a right for peaceful, healthy living. And you, my dear, have been taking that away from them the last 6 years. So yes, I want y'all to record and take pictures. Because if they go fix it, damn it, they go fix it right this time. Enough is enough. Know y'all rights. Take those pictures. Do the videos. And you can let that management company know that they doing it wrong. And you got let your community advocates know that they're doing it wrong. And if you don't want to report it, I damn sure don't have a problem with reporting it to Lafayette Consolidated Governments. Miss Green.
Okay, y'all. I can't talk too much because of the echo, but we have Miss Consuela here. Listen, I don't even have to say too much. As soon as she's gonna open her mouth, y'all gonna know that. I'm gonna let her talk.
Hi, everyone. My apologies. I have a very little nosy dog. Are we getting the echo?
Yeah, you getting the echo too.
I don't hear it on my end.
You don't?
No.
I hear it on my end. So maybe if you don't hear it, it should be okay.
How about if I'm gonna turn off my mic and see if that helps.
Okay. All right. I don't hear it. I'm Consuela Gaines. I'm a chapter organizer with Voice of the Experience, better known as Vote, right here in Lafayette. have been organizing here in Lafayette since I came home from prison, uh, pretty much in 2017. Started this chapter here in Lafayette. Um, and we are a nonprofit organization that focuses on criminal justice reform. Um, it was actually started on the inside of Angola. Our director, founder, Mr. Norris Henderson, while he was incarcerated at Angola, he and several other guys, they started the Special Civics Project, where they were able to teach people about their civil rights, their voting rights, and to help some people come home from prison. And they came home and they started Voice of the Experienced. And we have been very instrumental in getting laws changed, criminal justice laws, um, throughout the state of Louisiana. One of our biggest wins was Act 636, which restored voting rights to formerly incarcerated people in 2019. Um, you're looking at someone now who is a registered voter, who votes in every election, a very proud voter, um, and excited to be able to be a part of this initiative. How we got involved with Himbola, we were already focusing on the Truman community, canvassing, just getting to know people, and letting them ask questions about, the new laws that we're passing, and how they felt about it. And we even had the opportunity to go into Himbola. Josh Edmond had told us about the incident about the gas being turned off, and so that really piqued our curiosity, and we wanted to figure out a way where we could help. And so we went into Himbola and we started talking to people. And that's when we were hit with some very horrific stories, that really just angered us and really just sparked something in us, because we care about people and we want to be able to help people, especially when it comes to teaching people how to advocate for themselves, because I think that's the biggest problem of some of our residents in Himbola, because these issues are not new issues. They have been going on for years, is what we're hearing, and from people who lived there in the past several years ago, and they're like, it hasn't changed. So these are some ongoing issues, and that just lets us know that our folks don't know how to advocate for themselves. And not only that, they're being oppressed by this particular manager, Miss Green. The horrific stories that I heard about her, and the first thing I was like, she has to go. She has to go.
I
She
agree.
is the problem, because had she been doing her job, had she been listening to the complaints, doing follow up, making sure maintenance was done within these apartments, doing her own inspections of them, the apartments, other than wanting to throw people out for having a dog or someone fighting, the more serious issues. Has she been making those type of inspections other than the petty inspections? None of this would be taking place. Has she not been telling people, and this is what residents told us, when they would go and tell her that something is broken or something is wrong in their apartment, she's like, I don't care, I don't live here. And we're like, what? And and they would tell us, she threatens to evict us if we complain too much. She even tells them she's punishing them. I'm like, who died and left her judge?
punishing them.
Yeah, yeah, punishing them. I'm like, what? And just from that brief moment that I saw her the other day, Tara and I and my colleague Chachi were in Himbola. Just for that brief incident, first impressions are a lasting impression. And the way she talked to people and was more concerned about people touching her vehicle, like, get off my car. There better not be no scratches. You're more concerned about that than the living conditions of your residents. You're more concerned about that. And people were just standing behind her vehicle. They weren't doing anything to scratch or dent her vehicle. Because, man, I'm gonna pay for it, and I'm like, okay, I really.
So this, and I've been sitting back, and this is just my opinion, and I'm gonna voice my opinion. We don't want no harm to be caused to her or nothing,
Oh no, not at all.
but we want her gone.
Gone. Yeah,
We
gone.
want her
Absolutely.
100%. We want her gone.
Yes. She could go back to Texas because this man is in Texas, is out of Texas, out of San Antonio, Texas. I saw on her vehicle, it still had a Texas license plate. So she must still be connected to Texas. Go back to Texas because you're no good for Lafayette, Louisiana, and the residents in Himbola. Go back um, because she's an oppressor. She's not helping those people. She's harming them. She's harming those babies. And as you know, every time I go in Himbola, first thing I see are women and children, women and babies, women and children. And I'm like, oh my God, what she's doing isn't just affecting adults. You say you're punishing them for whatever reason, but they have children that live there. They have babies who live there. And so, whatever beef or problem you have with the parent, you're also exposing the child, those babies, those children to that foolishness. Um, and that isn't professional. And because of her lack of professionalism, is the results of what's taking place in Himbola right now, with the deplorable living conditions, which is something that needs to be addressed, and it has to stop. And I feel like she is the first one to really address this issue with, because people make their complaints to her first. She's the first person that they communicate this to. And of course she's going to lie and deny, oh, they didn't report this, and try to use that as a reason to evict people. They're not reporting this, or they never but some people have, and she takes people's lack of knowledge about keeping a paper trail. She takes that and she uses that to her advantage, and uses that against them because they didn't think to send an email and also either blind copy or CC their city councilman and say, look, I reported this long ago. Here it is, where it can be traced.
Yes.
And it cannot be denied. So one of the things that Vote intends to do is to be able to help the residents there, be able to teach them how to advocate for themselves, who they need to talk to when issues like this arise, and how they need to go about doing it. It may not necessarily be everyone that needs to be the spokesperson, but people know who their leaders are. Choose your own leader, someone who you feel can be able to communicate effectively with your city councilman, be able to communicate with whoever it is that needs to hear what's taking place, to be their spokesperson. Because just from the times we go in there, we realize we're some very emotional people because we have been oppressed for so long, and so that anger tends to rise up, and
Yes.
it comes out as if we're aggressive. We're not aggressive, we're just very angry about the situation, and that comes across wrong with people because we're very animated. I mean, that's just our blackness. We're very animated, and we talk with our hands, and we tend to get loud. And so I I always I tell my folks, be who you are, but at the same time, sometimes we do have to tone it down, and we want to be able to teach our folks how to be able to do that, because there's a time and a place for everything. And so I'm really looking forward to continuing the relationship building with the residents in Himbola and Truman, so that they can understand and know how to advocate for themselves when they need to advocate, and who they need to contact when situations like this arise.
Okay, okay. I have someone by the name of Brian Doe, and I'm gonna let you guys read this, okay?
Baby, you definitely must be a troll. And I'm going to tell you, like I've told a lot of other people, you cannot put a whole community in the same box. If you saw that, well, then you saw that. How you know somebody's a prostitute? You offer to give her some money for something. You don't know what she's doing. Kids do fight. They got drugs everywhere. Some of the biggest drug dealers are in River Ranch. Want to know how I know? I used to drive a cab for City Cab. So you trolling, and it's ugly and it's rude, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, okay. It is. Carmen, you want to hit me before you don't mind? Okay, let me say this. Wherever, and I don't care. Look, I'm an ex-drug dealer. I did it. Yes. Wherever there is poverty, there's going to be drugs and violence. 100%. So, if there is drugs there, let's try not to make it so messed up where they got trash falling all over, and try to make them feel better about themselves. Because if I went to school with the right books, shoes, uniform, everything, I feel good about myself. I'm going to learn. Give them the right utensils, and it's going to change. But here it is. I don't know who's Brian Doe. He said he went there, so I'm not sure who he is. But Brian Doe, I want to tell this to you, Brian Doe. If you are there and you are letting this situation be like this, you're part of the problem. You are part of the problem.
Clearly, just by his last name, John Doe, Jane Doe, Brian Doe, it's not even his real name. So he's just a troll coming on here making mess.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not even gonna. I said what I had to say to him. You are definitely irrelevant, and you are not a part of the solution.
Okay, so let's carry on, y'all. Okay, Consuela, can you go ahead on and continue? Because you were doing an awesome job.
Thank you. And yeah, and so one of the things that our organization does, we're a membership based organization. We teach our members how to give testimony, how to testify, how to tell their stories in front of city council, state legislators, because it's stories that change people's hearts and minds. It is our stories that we use to be able to get some laws changed in the criminal justice system here in Louisiana. It is our stories, our experience that we train our members, because everybody have a story. I haven't met a person yet that doesn't have a story. And we train our members, you know, sometimes it's necessary to have a very short version of your story or a specific part of your story. It just depends on what you're talking about at that particular moment, what you're addressing. Say, for instance, if an issue comes up in the city council pertaining to Himbola, um, we would be able to help them formulate their stories in a way that would be very professional, very concise, um, and very moving in front of the council members. And so a lot of people don't know how to do that. We go in, we go in with all the right intentions, but we come across wrong because we haven't sat down and really thought about what we wanted to say, write it down, rehearse it, let someone else hear it, let them critique it. You go back in, change it, make some edits. Um, just having someone to really say, look, this is a good part of your story that you need to share during this council meeting. And so we really try to make sure that our folks are able to almost give a like an elevator pitch in 2 or 3 minutes. Just spill it out. And because you're on a time frame. A lot of time when you go and speak in front of the city council, even the legislators, they'll put a time frame on you, 3 minutes, and that's all you have. And so you want to hit all the most important parts. And our folks, our family in Himbola, we want to be able to help them to do that, because I'm more than sure there will come a time where something about Himbola will be addressed in front of a city council meeting where they're going to need those residents to come out and share their stories, talk about what happened, give solutions to the problems. Because that vote, we believe those closest to the problems are the closest to the solution. Can't nobody tell those folks in Himbola anything, because they're right there. They're living it, they're breathing it every single day in Himbola. Can nobody tell their story better than them? And we want to be able to help them to polish that up and be able to get their story out the right way. And that's just like this Brian Doe with that stereotype. He stereotyped those people living in Himbola. That's just like they stereotype us, formerly incarcerated people. They say, oh, they're all criminals. you know
Yes, yes.
they say we're all criminals. we all do this or we all do that, but
You know,
we don't. We
you,
don't.
you know, hold on, hold on. I didn't like some of the things that he was posting in the comments, so I blocked it. You know, it's crazy how we can see with the natural eye that something is wrong. And just because it's our family or somebody we love or something like that, we got to turn and act like there's nothing wrong. When clearly with those pictures, everybody, Ray Charles can see that something is wrong. I don't know how true it is, but I have heard you have to pay $40 for a air conditioned vent. I never heard of that before. I'm talking about really never heard of that before. So my thing is this: you tried, you couldn't manage it right, you was messing over the people. It's time for you to go. It's simple. We don't want to fuss. We don't. We none of that. We don't want to fight with you. We don't want to harm you. We don't want to do none of that. It's just simply time for you to go. Simple.
And here's my issue with that. A couple of people said, well, she's just the manager. Benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was reporting to the proper property management company, and that they're the ones who didn't help, but didn't send anyone out to fix all these huge issues. My problem with that is this. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she continuously reported what was going on in these apartments, and her boss, her teammates over the years just ignored her. She still sat her happy butt down in that office and collected checks to fatten her pocket. Not all money is good money. She could have gone straight to HUD and made an anonymous complaint against Foresight. She could have contacted a state representative, a congressman, a senator. She could have contacted Lafayette Consolidated Government, the Jesse Taylor Neighborhood Services. She could have contacted all these people in the last 5-6 years that she's been there. Clearly, she did not. So for someone to be in her position working with minority and low income individuals, she does not have good character. She does not have compassion. She's not too smart either. I can say that. So shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you got to go. And we are demanding her resignation. We have I keep getting text messages from our little circle group. We are planning to have a protest this coming Tuesday on the 30th, the same day that Lafayette Consolidated Government will be out there doing inspections. We don't have an exact time yet, but if you're interested in attending the protest, because we will be calling for Miss Green's resignation, inbox us and let us know that you're interested in coming to help bring awareness, represent these residents, help empower these residents. Let us know if you want to come. That way we'll reach out to you, give you the time. But then we will also be posting the time in the next few days. But it will be this coming Tuesday. I want to also hit on real quick too about those utility allowances. I need for y'all to know that y'all utility allowance, y'all supposed to, Himbola residents, y'all are supposed to be getting y'all utility allowances at the beginning of each month, not the middle of the month. I'm trying to see about why exactly are some of those checks bouncing. I'm on a mission with that. Cause if somebody's stealing from the poor, I got a problem with that. Because if you're a Robin Hood, you're not supposed to be stealing from the hood. Oh shoot, hold up. Am I still there? All right. I was trying to exit out the text messages. So I'm letting y'all know it's supposed to be on the first of the month. Also, while we're on, I want to bring attention to and everybody. Please don't feel that I'm choosing who's important and who's not. But I have a situation right now, and I'm looking for a landlord who has a 3-bedroom house available. The maximum amount of rent that this person can pay is $800. The reason why I'm going to talk about her real quick, her name, she told me I could say her name. I tried helping her last year. Her name is Brandy Prejean. Her ceiling collapsed even after she had told Miss Green that it was about to. The same day that, oh my goodness. Okay, the same day that her ceiling collapsed and she told Miss Green, she found out that her father had died. Miss Green left her all Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, basically ignoring her and the flooding and everything else that was going on, not fixing the situation to where she was hurt, she was enraged, she wasn't thinking correctly, she came out of character. She went to the office demanding to talk to Miss Green. They did not want to let her in the office, so she began kicking the door. Miss Green called the police on her. Brandy was arrested and put in jail for disturbing the peace. Another misdemeanor goes to jail. Ain't that amazing? Then Miss Green served her with an eviction notice, and she went in front of Judge Saloon, and he basically didn't want to hear her side of the story, just Himbola's. And Judge Saloon gave this woman 24-hour notice to vacate. While all this is going on, Miss Brandy went to the news media. In fact, the news media still uses the pictures in her house right now when they talk about Himbola. And she started complaining, and she was raising her little hell. So that was retaliation, basically, serving her the eviction notice. And her and her 2 children have been homeless since October of last year due to Miss Green and that eviction, a 24-hour notice to vacate. They have been living in a motel room. She is spending about $1,200 a month living in a motel, and she spends close to $800 a month because she doesn't have a vehicle, going back and forth to work. She is a manager at a local store, thrift store. She's spending close to $800 a month just with a cab and Uber. This woman had enough courage to start speaking out last year against Himbola and Miss Green, and she was retaliated against by Miss Green. And it's coming up almost a year Her and her children have been homeless. I consider her right now priority because she is the one who actually grabbed news media attention to make the pathway for what we're trying to do now. So I basically beg, if you have a rent house and you're not a slumlord, because we're not going to put her back in the same situation, but if you have a house coming up that's available for rent and you're willing to take a maximum of $800 a month, please let me know. Let Consuela know. Let Chris know, so we can get this woman a house before her children start school. And perhaps you might be willing to work on letting her give you monthly installments on the deposit. Because right now she's strapped for money with everything she's spending in the motels. So please help her. She paved the way for this going on right now. She put in her work. She had the courage.
Okay, the guy might come back on. I'm not sure. I unblocked him. I unblocked him. This is something that he said, and if this is not the actual landlord, he said, say one more word, and I'm gonna post the video. Okay, meaning he said, tell me your apartment number, and I'll tell you how much you owe and why you are really mad. So who is that? Who is that?
I don't know who he's even referencing, but once again, it's irrelevant. So
Yeah.
um, I think Tara probably said it best. He's trolling because
So this is what I can say. This is what I can say. This situation has to get resolved. Tyra has been dealing with this situation since 2018 and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. Tyra might have to come back on. We lost connection. Uh, and fighting and fighting and fighting. It's no way possible. It is no way possible that we can uh sit right here and just let stuff like this happen when we know some of those family. Hold on. When we actually know some of those people don't have more than what they have, they need help. Some of those some of those people have no family members. They all passed away, they been gone. Some of those people been molested. Some of those people been robbed before. You never know what they are going through. You never know. You never know. You never know. So what we have to do, it's a must, y'all. It's a must. I don't care if you gotta just share Consuela posts. I don't care if you can just share Tyra posts. I don't care if you can just share Chacha posts. I don't care if you just share my posts. But it is something positive that can help those people in Himbola. Y'all, that's what we need to do, y'all.
and yeah, I'm steady looking at Brian Dole's messages saying what we talking about not gonna change anything. Saying that Green is only the property manager, which we're very aware of, and that she can't change what we're complaining about. That's why nothing is changing. But let me let you know, Mr. Brian, though, that she is not the only person that we are targeting, because we know that there are higher ups. She's the property manager, which is the start. She has supervisors all the way up to HUD. This is federal, because this multifamily complex receives federal dollars from HUD. Okay, so we're very aware of who we need to be communicating with, who we need to be talking to,
Yes.
who we need to be targeting. Trust me, we have done our research, we have done our homework. We are not some unintelligent people, and we have the resources to get what we need done.
Yes.
So he could, you could, and hey, I get it. I understand. You have probably been seeing this for a long time, of, you know, even elected officials promising to do this or do that, and nothing gets done, nothing gets changed. But that's only because people aren't holding them accountable, because they are term limited, we're not.
Yeah.
And we have the power to put them into office and to take them out of office. And that's one thing that we try to emphasize to people, the importance of voting, because some people say, "Oh, my vote don't count, it don't matter, they're going to do what they want to do." Yeah, anybody's going to do what they want to do if you let them, right? If you
Right.
let somebody slap you in your face and you don't do anything about it,
Yeah.
stop them, they'll do it again, correct? And the
Yeah.
same is with politics. As long as we continue to allow them to do things that are against our beliefs or against what we need in our communities, hell yeah, they're going to continue to do exactly what they're doing
Yes.
until somebody holds them accountable, speaks up. We're quick to draw down and draw guns and put guns in faces of your neighbor when you get mad at them. Quick,
Chachi.
quick,
Chachi.
quick, quick, yeah, quick to kill them. So why aren't we thinking, and our problem is we play checkers. These people are playing chess. We play checkers while they're playing chess, while we're partying and going spending time with little Nate and all our locals having parties. While we're partying, they're having meetings,
Yes.
thinking about their next move to continue to keep us paralyzed.
And
To
I'm
continue.
looking.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm looking at the everyone who's in our group chat today. And as the person name pops up that's in my phone that's getting added to the group chat, I'm saying, whoa, 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 oh, whoa. And that group chat is something that been needed to be done. That group chat is gonna last a long time. And I'm gonna tell this to everybody that's on here. Don't think it's just us three. Don't think it's just us three. Don't think it's just us three. We just the three people that's just gonna put our face out there, and it don't matter to us. Now and I know that it don't matter to, but don't listen. When we say strength is in numbers, when all of us get together, you're gonna see the strength. We're not playing. We're not taking no. We're not playing.
I think what makes this circle that's that we all have different strengths. We all have different ways of communicating with people. and reaching different personalities of people. We have all the same heart for community service and wanting to strengthen our community families. That's what is going to make us great, working together and actually making a difference. The Most High has given us all wonderful gifts to use differently, but in the same way. And y'all better watch out, cause we coming with no barbecue.
Yeah, and I'm after spending 22 years in prison. Um, I'm not one to just sit around and allow people in power to just run over people. Um, they take advantage of the fact that some people are illiterate. They take advantage of the fact that our people aren't educated. They don't have college degrees. Um, they have a lot of street knowledge and street sense, but when it comes to certain things, they're clueless as to what to do. But that's why me and Chachi, somebody who came from the streets, we can speak on both sides of the fence. I sit at the table and have changed the disciplinary matrix for the adults in our DOC facilities in the state of Louisiana and have completely changed the rule book. I sit on the task force
That's what I'm
with the
talking.
Department of Corrections, and we're working to end solitary confinement in the prison, and it's coming.
That's what I'm. You know what? This I have to say this, Consuela Chachi spoke at an event when me and him both were speaking at, and Chachi said something, and I still use it today. And I hope the dope person is watching, and I hope he's really a man. Chachi said, "Men are fixers. We fix things." When we were younger, whether it was your daddy, your uncle, your brother, your cousin, but when something broke in the house, your mom, your grandmother, or your aunt said, "Hold on, your daddy gonna fix it. Your uncle gonna fix it when he come." But men are fixers. Men are fixers. The situation with Himbola, Brian Doe, he said he's here. I hope that you're out there when we start to fix it, Humboldt, or whatever, and ever, whether it's break it all down, whether it's redo it, one building at a time. I hope you're out there helping us to fix it, because once you become a man, you can be 60 years old. If you're breaking things, you're not a man. I don't care if you're breaking families. I don't care if you're breaking fun. Anything that you are breaking, you're not. I don't care if you're breaking women. We fixers. That's what we do. Men are fixers. We fix things. Okay, go ahead, Consuela.
Yeah, so and not only to address Mr. Brian Doe, but also for the other naysayers, people who think and believe that things won't change or can't change. Um, with that mentality, I hate to see your life with that type of mentality, because when people start believing in themselves, start believing themselves, um, that's when magical things happen. That's when change really happens. You first have to believe the change is possible. You have to believe it before you even start doing whatever necessary work you have to do to change it. You first have to believe that it's possible to be changed. So, guess what? If the three of us and the hundreds of people that's coming with us didn't think that the change is possible, we wouldn't be here. I don't get involved with things, I don't go into anything thinking, oh, it's not possible. Then why am I here? Why am I here if I don't believe in what I'm doing?
You gotta believe.
Isn't that what faith is? Faith without works is dead, right?
Yes, yes,
We have to believe it before we see it.
yes,
And I see these communities pulling together,
yes,
standing up, speaking up for themselves,
yes,
fighting and advocating for themselves to make their communities better. And
yes.
when they start to realize and believe that and see it themselves, that's when the change is going to happen.
Before Consuela came, I'm just using me. I like to use me because I don't want to put nobody else's name out there. But before Consuela came to the apartment complex, I probably didn't know how to read. I probably didn't know how to write. Consuela probably hooked me up with Josh Edmond, which she has ties to. She hooked me up with Josh Edmond. Josh showed me where I could have go to try to get my GED. All over a sudden, 2, 3 years later, I'm learning things, and I'm learning that the things that I was taught when I was younger wasn't right. But if I'm stuck in this box and this is all that I have, I'm never gonna evolve and become this person that I know that I can become. Like Tyra said, all of us have different strengths, and those strengths that all of us have in that text thread and the other people, those strengths are really going to be able to help these people become who they really need to become.
All it takes, see, I just see advocacy very simple. I've been homeless. I've felt invisible. I've felt the weight of the world on my shoulders trying to make a difference by myself. For, I mean, it's been 30 years since I got my first taste of discrimination because of the color of my daughter's skin with the housing authority in Lafayette. It's very simple to me. All you have to do is show simply love and have compassion for others. Listen to them. Make sure that they know that they are being heard and seen, that they are not invisible. And then from there, with that love and compassion, you let them know that they're not alone and they are unstoppable. And then empowerment begins. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's that simple.
And that's where it starts. It starts in the heart. You know, I have a love for people, you know, and I often think back to when I went to prison at the age of 23. I hadn't been exposed to a lot of things in life. I grew up in Eunice, little country girl. I was living back and forth between Opelousas and Lafayette. Um, and the opportunities, I, I received my GED after being pulled off the stage because I made a F in my finals 6 weeks in my English class. I was, denied to graduate. So So I had to go back to school and get my GED. Um, so that was, kind of a first time I really saw injustice personally, on a personal level. Um, and from that point, I had dreams of going into the United States Air Force. I had a recruiter, Air Force recruiter, who was constantly coming to my house. And then when I got pulled off that stage, my family had purchased my cap and gown, and not being able to graduate from high school. Y'all, I rarely, honestly, this is my first time even sharing this story. Um, that was a hard slap for me, you know, because it changed the direction my life, or what I envisioned my life to go. I was like, after high school, I'm going to the Air Force. I'm going to be able to travel. I'm going to college. And then to get denied that. But let me say this, there were advocates in Eunice who surrounded me, and they pushed until that um, policy was changed, till the they average your school grade. Even if you make a F the last 6 weeks, they average out your grade before they say you can't graduate or move on to the next school grade. And it was because of me, because of what happened to me, that was changed in St. Landry Parish. So I know firsthand of what it means to be trapped or feel like, a failure, like nothing good will ever happen. And I felt like that all the way up until the time I went to prison, because I never saw a psychiatrist. I was depressed. I was just, I didn't care anymore. All the way up until the day I brought a sawed off shotgun to the courthouse and broke my boyfriend out of jail. Because, I couldn't find a job to save my life. I didn't have any money. No one would hire me. And there were times I had to go into the stores and steal. I hated it, but I did it because that was my way of survival. I was stealing personal hygiene products, from sanitary napkins to deodorant and toothpaste. I was stealing. I didn't want to, but I didn't have any other means to get those things that I needed. I didn't have children, you know, where I was be able to get, some type of governmental assistance. I didn't have kids. It was just me. So I understand what it feels like to feel hopeless and be in a hopeless situation. Because that day I went to that courthouse with that sawed off shotgun, I was at a point where I didn't even care if I lived or died. Because I said, okay, if I die today, at least it'll be for somebody I love. That was the mentality I had then. I didn't know who I am or whose I was. I didn't know at the age of 23. And I met so many 23-year-old girls when we were in Himbola. And when I was asking them, how old are you? 23. I'm like, oh God, I was 23 when I went to prison. And I shared that with them to let them know I understand how it is for a young Black woman in this country, in this state, in this city. I understand how hard that is. I've been there. I've done that. I went to prison for 22 years. That's where I discovered me. That's where I learned who I belong to, who my higher power is. That's when I really made that connection. I don't want anyone to have to go to prison to discover who they are and whose they are, because it's not necessary. You can discover it right out here,
Yes, yes,
right out here, free.
yes, I agree. Brian, Doe said something again, but you have to pull the community together after the right things, going at it with the property manager. They're just going to use that as a distraction from the real problem. Whether you like it or not, the high ups going to always look at it as Section 8, people in the eyes. Okay, Brian, we have nothing against the property manager. It's her act. We have nothing against her. It's only her actions. What if we could count, I would say about 60 people are saying. The rest of the people just don't want to say right now because they're scared that they are going to get evicted. Again, we have nothing against the property manager at all. Her actions, which she has been doing, charging people $40 for an air conditioning filter, my opinion, wrong. Not giving them the energy check, my opinion, wrong. Not fixing up in the apartments, wrong. My opinion, wrong. She feels she have to walk around there with a gun. I carry a gun. Something is wrong. It's something that is wrong. They say she always have an attitude. And I'm calling you Brian. I don't know if that's your name, but that's what I'm gonna call you. So she's not gonna talk to us. She's not gonna talk to us at all. She don't want to talk to us. And my opinion, if you don't want to talk to us, something that's going wrong. So you don't want to let us hear your side of the story, and you want us to just hear one side of the story. We're gonna make sure that you are escorted off of that property. I'm gonna be honest with you, Brian. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Might be your family. I know you love your family and everything, but that is definitely one of the missions, Brian, for us to make sure that she never works there or to any other apartment complex again.
Well, Brian, I have something against her. And basically, the fact that when I tried to see if she needed help in 2019, when I was cutting grass because the landscaping company wasn't getting paid no more, and she tried to tell my daughter, I was trying to get her some help, and she didn't want to give me any information because I wasn't a resident there. And then when I went over her bookkeeping and showed her mistake with one of my daughters there, that she was double charging her, she got mad and decided to say that I wasn't welcome on the property. I was trespassing, even though I had my daughter and my 4 grandchildren back there. And then whenever the other daughter moved there, and eventually after over 4 weeks of warning Miss Green by email, paper trail, that her ceiling was going to fall, to where that day it fell, and it almost fell on top of my 3-year-old grandson, who weighed probably less than 20 pounds at the time because he was a teeny kid. And I was over there doing a Facebook Live, and she decided to call the city police on me and have me escorted off the property for trespassing, to where I could not console my daughter. In regards to everything that just happened, I have a problem with her. I have a problem with her character and her lack of compassion. And she has no business being in that position, working with the public and working with minorities and low income people and having that type of attitude. So yeah, I have a problem with her. Do I wish her harm? Absolutely not. Am I going to do what I can to be able to make her lose her job? Oh, believe me, I am. Am I going to do what I can to make that management company be accountable and David Starr with Agape Foundation accountable? Believe me, I am. The call was already put into HUD, and I got a call back today, Brian, and all this information, including charging people too much rent that I have proof of that she's doing, Brian, has been reported to HUD. And it's being submitted to different offices in HUD. HUD might have to be accountable, but I'm gonna make sure, if it's one of the last things I do, Miss Green, that Foresight Asset Management, American Agape Foundation, David Starr, and Lafayette Consolidated Government are all held accountable for ignoring the deplorable housing conditions that these children and these women have had to live in. My heart's in it because I've had 5 grandchildren living in that disgusting atmosphere, breathing in that mold. To one of my grandbabies still has a cough now to this day. So you can take you and your little fake last name. No, rent is not $4 right now. I have somebody showing me today that in retaliation, her rent is going up to $864 a month on less than $1,400 a month income, leaving her with less than $550 a month to buy food, clothing, hygiene, laundry detergent, gas to get back and forth to work. And she has 4 children. So before you come on here and you start talking all kinds of mess, misleading people, I have seen so many notes recently from Miss Green in retaliation going up on people's rent, including one of my daughters who moved out of there last September, wanting her to pay over $700 a month in rent after her ceiling fell. So I'm not even gonna curse. I think I'm doing good tonight. You are full of poo poo, Brian.
Tyra, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good. You're doing so good. Tyra, you're doing so good.
That's because I'm tired.
Okay. Tyra, quick question. So, is everybody? I'm not sure, y'all. And look, this is a real question, and me, I'm the type of person that I'm gonna ask questions if I don't know something. So he said that the rent is $4 right now. So, Brian, are you telling
That's no. Okay, let me tell you, that is possible because there is a lady back there right now who does not pay any rent. She has severe mental diagnosis and she is fighting to get her Social Security. So there are some people that don't pay any rent because they have no income coming in. This is the same lady that for the last 3 or 4 months, she hasn't even gotten her $24 a month utility allowance. Where is that, Miss Green? Where's that woman's little bit of money? If it wouldn't be for family and friends, those are the ones who are paying her utilities now. So what he's saying, I'm going to give him that. That's right.
okay,
All is based according to your income.
okay, according to your income. So everybody's rent is not $4.
No, in fact, Mariah's rent was going to go up over $700 after she got her job promotion for a 2-bedroom house, but the ceiling had fallen. There are people now that Ms. Green, even before saying that this is how much your rent is going to go up to, but I need to see your check stubs for the last 3 months. How can you determine how much that rent is before you have the check stubs? You need to look at the check stubs. It goes according to fair market rent, how many children you have, because those are your deductions, what your gross income is, and then you pay a percentage of your income towards that rent. There's no reason, like the little girl that I said a while ago, there's no reason why her rent should be $864 a month when I looked at her check stubs. She makes less than $1,400 a month, and she has 4 children in a 3-bedroom apartment. Everybody's rent is different because everybody has different income, different amount of children, different apartment sizes. And that also means their utility allowance would be different amounts also.
Okay. Now I thank you. Now I understand. Yo, we okay, hold on. Tyra, no one rent on that property is $800. It's not what I saw.
My boy, you know what? Hit me up in my inbox. I'm going to cover up the renter's name and I'm going to show you proof of the letter that she got today from Ms. Green. You're talking, but only speak whenever you're educated enough to know what you're talking about, because all you're going to do is you're trying to mislead other people who are
Don't
trying to get information and get knowledge. And you wrong for that.
don't
That's
don't say
evil.
don't say too much, Tyra.
And,
Don't.
he said he's trying. Look, when my family, when I was a young girl, my family, we were living in Eunice. If you're familiar with Eunice, you might be familiar with the St. Matilda subdivision, which is a low income housing projects. Um, it's 4 kids, both of my parents. My mom was a nurse. My dad, he ended up working for Halliburton. So that's in oil and gas. So when he got that job at Halliburton, oh, they went up on our rent according to I want to say at that time we paid more rent than anybody in that subdivision based upon the income that was coming into that household. And so yes, they your rent is determined upon how much income is coming into your household when you live in a subsidized if you're on section 8 and it's being funded by HUD, it goes according to your household income. And of course my parents even got to a point to where we were able to move out of the subdivision, out of the sub. And that's what they did. We didn't stay on governmental assistance. We had moved from California. We did not stay on governmental assistance. It was used until my parents could get back on their feet and were able to have good jobs and move their family out of the subdivision and get off of governmental assistance and be able to take care of their 4 children and one with special needs. So it is the rent is determined on the household income. So if you have um, if we had like I said, we had 2-parent household. Um, so those were 2 sources of income coming in, which I'm sure amounted to well over a few $1,000s between the 2 of them, back then. And so quite naturally, hell yeah, they went up on the rent. They were supposed to. They went up on the rent. And so anytime, and like Brian was saying, ain't nobody making that much money that they would raise their rent to $800. I don't know what that person's income was, because sometimes people they're working, they may be getting child support, they may be getting SSI. You don't know people's circumstances. Some people get more income coming into a household than others do. everybody's situation is different. You cannot base um that idea on one person, because everybody is different. Everybody.
Consuela, can you read that for me? It's a lot of it's pretty small.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, and it's saying the residents need to learn what their rights are, which is true. I gotta hold up. I gotta plug up my computer. My battery was about to die. The residents need what their rights are. Residents should not be giving the property manager any income paperwork, because she is not the one that determines their rent. If Section 8 is paying their rent, that's who they need to give that information to.
This is not Section 8. There are no vouchers given to these residents here to move into Himbola. This is strictly subsidized housing, meaning that HUD pays a portion of the rent, and the residents pay a portion according to their income. This is not Section 8. That's two different programs under the umbrella of HUD. So the thing is, Ms. Green, if she's doing, she would have to have been trained to do this. And basically, it's done with a computer program, putting in all the numbers, the children, the dependents, giving her basically a break or a deduction for household expenses, food, things like that. So, yes, she has the authority to take in check stubs, put the information into the system, and the system then determines what the rent is supposed to be per resident.
I have to say this to you and Consuela both. I appreciate you guys. I really, really appreciate you guys. Cause I'm just sitting back and I'm just listening and man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My wife uh pays the bills and does all of that. And yes, we buying our house, but I don't never, and y'all I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all doing to me. Y'all making me focus on paying bills because I want to dig into more of what was going on with our bills. I know my wife will handle it and everything, but that's something that's important to them. And I want to thank you and Tyra for tonight and how much y'all have put in me. I really do appreciate this. Okay, Brian has something to say again.
So Brian said that that's the first thing that residents are told when they apply, to know their right. And she is entitled to do the calculations, and HUD oversees and monitors income. And I see you also said, and all incomes are audited. So the problem is with HUD. And he said, I understand the frustration, but I'm just trying to direct you in the direction. Like I said earlier, we are very much aware of what the chain of command is.
Brian, you sure know a lot.
And it starts on the low level, because that's the direct um I can't think of the word, but that's the lower level management, and these are the ones who are in direct contact with the tenants. And it moves up. Okay, it starts with the management. It also from the management to the owners to the city to HUD, where we can actually go to the state, because our state government can also provide some things as well. But yes, it starts local. It starts with the management. Then it is with the owner. It's a chain of command. And so, in anything, you have to follow the chain of command before you can go all the way to the top. You have to start at the lower level, and that's what's important, especially if the tenants are going to be seeking a class action lawsuit. They have to follow the proper chain of command. Um, I was also an inmate counsel sub, so I learned law. I helped people with their cases while I was incarcerated. So I did learn criminal and civil law while I was incarcerated. I did that for 10 years. And so I do have knowledge. In my organization, we have a general counsel who is an actual attorney who has even more knowledge. We have a few paralegals and a few attorneys within our organization. Um, uh, Policy analysts who are very aware and informed about all of this type of information. If they're not, they will get it. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a chain of command that's being followed, and it has to be followed to a T,
Yes.
so that things are handled properly.
Tyra, what's on your mind, Tyra?
You know, I don't sugarcoat shit, right? Here we go. I think we have ruffled Miss Green's feathers so much that she is somebody who knows her is behind Brian Doe, because Brian Doe sure knows a hell of a lot. But what you don't know, Brian Doe, is that I'm calling for an audit, and I'm going to the congressman and to state representative Chasson for them to go ahead and see how we go about auditing Ms. Green and what's going on in that office, um, Foresight Management, and the American Gape Foundation. Because you see, at Himbola, there's too many revolving doors with rent that clearly is not being adjusted or calculated the right way with being based on a person's income. You have utility allowance checks that are bouncing to where Ace Check Cashing Center, Walmart, and Super One are refusing to cash any of Himbola Manor residents' utility allowance checks. The checks are being given to the residents in the middle of the month instead of at the beginning of the month. There's no pest control because Himbola's not paying for it, just like, they didn't want to pay for the landscaping company also. So when that audit comes and they see that there is embezzlement, because clearly there's embezzlement going on. Somehow or another, Miss Green, Foresight Management, playing around with poor people's money, stealing it. They complain, they ask questions, they report the damages in their house. Miss Green gets mad, comes up with stuff to write up violations like hanging your mop out on the balcony to dry with your bucket, evicts these tenants, turns around and says they owe thousands of dollars in damages, to where it's reported on their credit report, to where these minority families have to clean up their credit report for thousands of dollars. Usually landlords won't even place them or let them move into their apartment or their house because of the credit report from Himbola. And clearly they won't be first-time home buyers until they can clear that up. So I'm you know what, I'm not even saying I'm coming out of character, because you know what, this is my character. I don't sugarcoat shit. And you're really starting to piss me off by spreading misinformation, covering this green's ass, while these children are breathing in mold every night. Why don't you go to Himbola and catch you a piece of ceiling and put it by your pillow tonight and sleep on it and tell me how your sinuses feel in the morning? Brian Doe. I can't wait till I can prove there's embezzlement going on there. So y'all all can go down and get fired and maybe go to jail because y'all deserve it. I'm done.
I don't know why they got Tara started. Y'all are,
Okay. Preston, they're asking about your organization. So while we let Tyra calm down a little bit, I love you, my sister. I love you.
she's
Uh,
passionate. She is
yeah,
passionate about
definitely
this.
is. He definitely is. While we let Tyra calm down, Consuela, if you don't mind, they're asking a good bit about your organization. So can you please explain it to them if you don't mind?
Yes, yes. We are here in Lafayette. We actually just moved our office. We're in Trendy Spaces. If you're familiar with Trendy Spaces, there's a new incubator here in Lafayette, and it's actually owned by a formerly incarcerated person. And so that made it a prime location for us to be in. It's a beautiful space. They have, get-togethers on the weekend. Um, okay, that's funny. Um, and so we have our home base is in New Orleans, where there are quite a few hundred members there. We have a chapter in Baton Rouge. And we also have this chapter here in Lafayette. We are currently working on, yes, on Carmel Drive at 102 Carmel Drive. As soon as you turn off of Louisiana Avenue onto Carmel Drive, the only two-story white building on the right-hand side is Trendy Spaces. We meet once a month on every third Thursday of the month, 6 p.m. We are a membership-based organization. We don't ask or require membership dues or fees. Um, we just ask that people show up. We're getting ready to start preparing for our GOTV, our Get Out the Vote campaign. We'll be having people door knocking, doing some canvassing and phone banking, and it will be some paid opportunity. But we always look within our membership first to grab those people. We train our people how to canvas properly, safety, and how to, present themselves on doors. And we pay our folks $15 an hour to canvas. And like I said, we look within our organization, our membership first, and try to make sure that our folks are accommodated who need those side hustles for a minute. And what you say, Chris?
Hold on. $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime we've canvassed like GOTV, I mean, we canvassed just, when we were going in Truman, we weren't paying anybody. We were, had volunteers to come out with us. We weren't paying anybody at that time. But we do have paid opportunities with certain elections. And this upcoming election, we are going to have some paid opportunities because we're actually getting ready to have a GOTV meeting next month at our headquarters in New Orleans. And then in September, we'll more than likely start being boots on the ground and start canvassing.
So can you come back on the show every time y'all have something and need people to come and help y'all canvas and everything? That way some of our people can come and make that $15 an hour.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
Okay, go
sure.
ahead.
Yeah. And so yeah, we do have those opportunities. I know I don't know if they're going to this election, but I know a lot of times Black Voters Matter. They also do the same thing. So I know that's probably the only two orgs in Lafayette, which we were instrumental on getting Black Voters Matter here in Lafayette because we brought them down when Act 636 went into effect. We actually did a statewide tour to get formerly incarcerated people registered to vote. And that's how Black Voters Matter came to Lafayette. In this, in our neck of the woods down here in Lafayette, they came with vote, and that's how they were introduced to Lafayette. And so we've been at it, we've been at it. I've been here, I opened this chapter here in Lafayette back in 2017, just a few months after I was released from prison. Vote was looking for an organizer who was formerly incarcerated, and I was blessed. Matter of fact, Sister Khadijah Rashad was the one who connected me with Vote's statewide organizer, Mr. Robert Goodman Jr., who is now deceased. But he would come from New Orleans, and he trained me on organizing and what that looks like to be able to build relationships with people and bring people into this organization. Because he would always tell me, you don't necessarily have to look for people. People are looking for this type of organization. And he was right. A lot of people still don't know we exist. This VOTE vote, that word tends to run people off. But I like to put out more that we are voice of the experience. Our experience being our incarceration, our experience with the criminal justice system. We know it forward and backwards. And we share that. We share our knowledge. And it's because of, like I said earlier, our stories, our experience that change laws and change hearts.
I really do think that if you want, what are you doing tomorrow night?
What is packing? Packing. Yeah, I'll be out of the state on vacation.
We can do a 30-minute show and let everybody know. Tyra, Tyra says she missed Jerry. Okay, look. It's no way possible. It's no way possible that nobody is gonna make us get off of what we are trying to do with Himbola. There's no way possible that nobody is gonna convince me that we're not doing the right thing. I know for a fact, me myself, Tyler has been trying to get this done. And I made myself a promise. I'm gonna make sure that it happens. And I understand, Tyra. I understand you getting frustrated. But listen. Let me tell you and show you. Well, let me tell you what's gonna make you smile. The outcome. Because I know us. The outcome is gonna make you smile. That is a 100% guarantee. And look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I called her today because I know her. I know Ty. She's gonna take every phone call. She's gonna take every inbox. She's gonna take care of her grandchildren. She's gonna do all of that. And then all of a sudden, she'll fall asleep in the chair because she's just tired and beat. I know her like a book. I called her today and told her, my sister, I need you not to take everybody call. I need you to tell them, okay, I understand that that's going on with another apartment complex. But take one person that has that strong mind like you that's in that other apartment complex and give them the breakdown on everything that they need to do. That one person contacts you and everybody else contacts them. Because if Tyra could stretch her whole arms big as the world, she would hug the whole world. I know that for a fact. Now, I think she's ready to come back on. Tyra, can you not do too much cursing? I'm gonna give you 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm done with the ugly words. And what the people who have actually been contacting me about other apartment complexes, um, at that town hall meeting, Miss Luke, the new head of planning and development, she said, send them to me, send them to me, give me the name of the apartments. So I screenshotted her picture, her address, and her telephone number. And I've been telling everybody, boom, there you go. Start with that. Let me know how it goes. Because if she doesn't respond to you, I'm going to have to go meet her at her job and have a meeting and tell her, look, that's not what you promised in front
Yeah,
of everybody at that town hall meeting. So, my brother, I appreciate your kind words. And yeah, you know me. I I got that tattoo on my arm. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
yeah,
You don't mess with people. And you don't mess with poor people. You don't mess with the elderly. And you don't mess with children.
no,
And that's my heart. That's what the Most High designs me to do. That is my assignment.
yes,
I tell people often, after I got her on the job, doctors didn't understand how I was able to walk. But I walked into that emergency room and I've walked miles in protest in the last 11 years, even in severe pain. And as long as my legs are still moving to carry my big, extra fluffy butt, I'm going to keep walking and I'm going to keep on with my assignment. Because what you're not going to do is make any of my community family feel invisible and feel alone. So I am taking heed to what you said, but yes, I am still taking every phone call and every message and being able to put people in other apartments, send them in the right direction. And I'm
yes,
testing our new administration
yes,
and
yes,
see if they're gonna stick to what they said.
yes, yes. And look, we are definitely going to hold them accountable. 100% definitely gonna and y'all listen. Tyra is gonna call me and Tyra is gonna say, my brother, you said they wasn't gonna do this. My brother, they doing this. My brother, they doing that. Guaranteed 100%. So, y'all, look, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Love y'all. We have to get this out. Y'all share Consuela post, share Tyra post, share my post. We have to get all this information out. If you can come out there whenever we post that, we coming out there. Cause listen, we coming. Can't say when we coming. Not yet, but we coming. Just know we coming.
And look, I wanted to say this too, Chris, before we go. This isn't a sprint, y'all. It may take a while for us to get the end results that we're seeking. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. You know, it may not even happen by the end of the year, but we're going to continue to fight until we see the results that we're fighting for. This isn't a sprint. This isn't just a little quick little dash, little 50-yard dash. It's going to take some time. And we ask that people know and understand that, you know, These battles aren't won overnight. It took vote about 7 years for us to get Act 636 passed, which restored voting rights to formerly incarcerated people. It took Representative Pat Smith several years of going back, constantly going back to the legislature to get that bill passed and signed. So don't expect something to happen overnight.
I told
But just know that there are people working behind the scenes, advocating, working hard with their best interests in the people who live in Himbola. We are going to continue to fight until they get their justice. And I pray that we also are able to equip them with knowledge and information that they need to help them move on and away from Himbola. Because governmental assistance like that wasn't meant to be permanent. It was meant to be temporary, to help people to get on their feet, not to stay there. And the way that it's designed is paralyzing our people, because when they go to get these jobs, they want to go up on the rent, and they're not stable to be able to handle all of that. And they haven't really learned, they haven't been taught how to save money, how to shop properly. And so all of those things come into play, and therefore they get stuck in under the government, and the government keeps their foot on their neck. I have a dynamic sister that did 26 years with me in prison. She was a juvenile lifer. She's home, and guess what? She's a real estate agent. She's selling houses to formerly incarcerated people. So if formerly incarcerated people can buy homes with a credit score of at least 650 or 680, I forgot which, or 580, not 580. If you have a credit score of that amount, you can purchase a home as long as you have some form of income coming in. And people think it's impossible to be a homeowner until they see that it is possible.
It is possible. Yes, yes.
So we're hoping to change this whole mentality about these folks in Himbola. My dream is to be able to shut Himbola down where no one has to live there at all anymore, that they are homeowners, that they don't rely on government assistance. That is my dream.
Yes, yes.
And I want it to be their dream as well.
Okay, I have this lady right here. Before we close, y'all, I have this lady. She said, I have a question. I know someone that is on Section 8. How does that work? They have a voucher for $675. That person disabled. The rent is $650, but they are paying $225 out of pocket every month. How does that work?
So again, with Section 8, and I was on Section 8 for a while when my children were children. Again, they take your income. They depend if you have children or not, according to their ages, their sex. That tells you how many bedrooms you are eligible for. Every bedroom has a different voucher amount. If they're disabled, they're taking their income.
Question, Tara. Question. Can you press mute, Tara? If I have a voucher for $675, but my rent is $650, isn't that voucher supposed to cover my whole rent?
No, because so the voucher size, um, it, the voucher size is according to fair market value rent per like 1 bedroom, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedroom houses. They vouchers according to bedroom size or house size um, are all different amounts. But again, just like Himbola, they go according to your income, and then you get a deduction if you have children. So if this person is getting, depending if it's SSA or SSI is a little over $900 a month, and SSA it ranges depending on what you've paid into the system before you were deemed disabled. So if that person is only paying $245 a month towards the actual 650 rent, the thing is the remainder uh, um after the 245 collected from the renter, the voucher pays that amount. The voucher is for 675. That means that that person cannot find a house that the rent is over 675 a month. They have to find housing that fits the voucher. And whatever the amount of rent according to income they have to pay, the remainder is what the voucher actually pays. So that to me seems about right, because 650, that person probably only is eligible for a 1 bedroom, meaning there's no dependents. So over $900 a month SSI or SSA, and only paying $245 a month. I mean, that seems about right to me without having a calculator in front of me.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you and Tyra both. Man, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have educated me about this so much tonight. Wow. Cause I was thinking if I got a voucher for $675, I'm gonna get me a house for $675 a month. That's what I was thinking. That's my thinking. But Tyra, you broke it down to me in man. Wow.
Well, and if your voucher is for 675, then you can go find you a house where the rent is $675. But they're going to take your income into consideration, and you are going to be responsible to pay some of that rent. The remainder is what the voucher covers.
Okay. Yo, listen. Wow. So, is there anything else you ladies would like to? I'm gonna say this before. Look, I'm gonna close, but I'm gonna say this before I let them two speak one more last time. We're not stopping. Y'all listen and listen good. We're not stopping. Me and Tyra gonna be on the phone all day. We gonna text in the group message all day. We not stopping. When y'all listen, when y'all think we sleeping, we working. Soon as I call Tyra, this morning, Tyra said, going to bed thinking about Humboldt, waking up thinking about Humboldt. So
5 o'clock this morning, calling HUD's discrimination hotline, leaving a message because I knew that was the number that somebody was gonna call me back on today. 5 o'clock in the morning.
So y'all, again, I have to say this. We have to. We have to make sure that those people are taken care of. That's our people. It's nobody coming with no 40 acres and a mule. It's nobody coming. We can forget about that. We got to take care of our own. That's our people. We have to take care of us. Nobody coming to save us on no ship or none of that. We got to take care of us. So remember, every day, we got to take care of them. I don't care if you're just sharing something. I don't care if you just doing it by word of mouth. I don't care. We have to. Okay, I'm gonna let Tyra and Consuela close, y'all. Y'all go ahead.
It all starts and ends with love, y'all. You know, if we poured out more love into our communities instead of enviness and jealousy and hatred for each other, just how just think how much better our communities could be if we showed love. I'm telling you, it starts and ends with love. Love overpowers everything, everything. And that is why I do what I do. That is why Vote does what we do, um, because we have a love for people, and not just Black people, for all people who are impoverished, for all currently and formerly incarcerated people, for family members of currently incarcerated people, for people in general. We believe in what's right, and that's what we fight for what's right. And I would, if anybody would like to become a part or join or learn more about our organization, feel free to reach out to me. I dropped my phone number and my email in the comment section. Feel free to reach out to me. And look for us. We'll be in and out of Himbola often. Look out for these blue shirts. We're coming. We're coming. Y'all gonna know us like y'all know McDonald's. We're gonna become a household name in Lafayette and in our communities because, like I said, we love y'all. God bless y'all.
Like Deion Sanders said, we coming. Okay, Tyra.
Quick recap. So this Tuesday, Lafayette Consolidated Government goes out to be able to do the inspections. People, please let them into your apartment. If you have to work, if you can get someone to go in your apartment that day, that way someone can open the door and allow these inspectors to be able to come in. Let them in. Again, they're not trying to hurt y'all. They can't write you up for violations. They don't care what your house looks like if it's clean, but still clean it up a little bit. Um, just they're not looking to see what you have and what you don't have. Let these people in your house so they could actually write up this management company and hold them accountable for how they making people live back there. This is negligence. So this Tuesday, July 30th, they're going to have 3 to 4 different people in the city trucks, Lafayette Consolidated Government, to come and inspect. Let them in your house. And always say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. People say, count your blessings. I say, share them. No matter how small it is, share your blessings. Love the next person. Uplift them. Be nice. Be kind. And y'all don't get out of character with Miss Green. That's my job. Okay.
Okay, y'all listen. Look, listen. That's my sister, and I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. And look, both of these ladies, I have their back 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Look, y'all bless my soul tonight. I'm going to talk my wife ear to death. I'm going, and Tyra, you just don't know. I'm calling you too. If she fall asleep, Tyra, you gonna get it. I'm calling you too. Cause man, y'all educated me so much, man. Tell it's a shame. And look, this the thing. This the thing. Sometimes people just don't know. They might be in that situation and just don't know. So y'all, I appreciate having y'all. We've been on this show for 2 hours and 4 minutes. 2 hours and 4 minutes. I appreciate having y'all. And look, this definitely will not be the last time. This definitely will not be the last time. Thank y'all. Tyra, I will be calling you. And Consuela, I will be talking to you. And I'm sorry I missed the Zoom call today. I didn't think it was today. But I will definitely be on the next one. Thank y'all, and I love y'all. Okay, y'all, this concludes another episode of the Dream Chasers podcast show, y'all.
Let's go. And that's a wrap on another episode of the Dream Chasers podcast. Thank you for joining us in the relentless pursuit of goals and sharing this space of motivation and growth. Remember, the path to your dreams is paved with persistence and hard work. Stay inspired, keep pushing, and until next time, keep chasing your dreams. The Dream Chasers podcast.